Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my last June garden tour. It is nearing the end of June, coming up on the 4th of July, and I thought I would just start over here on our other side gate. I usually start on the other side, but I just thought it would be interesting to start over here today. So we are starting with my two incredible hydrangeas. Both were planted or transplanted into this space last year. I am anxious for them to get bigger and fill up this whole area. Hopefully they will get their full size, about 5 by 5. And I have said on other tours that this one is doing well, looking good, a little bit smaller because that one has been transplanted about, 2 or 3 times. And this one was brand new last year and is not looking so great. The flowers are pretty, but the leaves are very splotchy. There's some kind of a fungal issue going on with this one. Hopefully next year that will look a lot better. You can see my river of ageratum right behind it, and you probably noticed my hollyhock in the background. I will get a closer up for you. My black-eyed Susans are looking pretty. These are the Becky black-eyed Susan. That one is doing really well. The others are struggling a little bit to keep up with it. And my big patch of zinnias here are getting munched on. We have so many baby rabbits right now, and they are just kind of loving this patch of zinnias right now. And I will have to go through in maybe a week or so and disperse these a little bit better again. I put in some new seeds that are kind of starting to pop up. I was waiting for them to pop up a little bit more before I moved around some of these plants, but I'd like to even them out a little bit. So I'll give them maybe a week. And then back to my hollyhock over here. Looking so pretty. I've never planted a hollyhock before, and this was actually left here from last year. We had a little garden over here where I put some of my vegetables, and I just threw in some hollyhock seed, and this plant and one more over here were the only ones that kind of survived over the summer and winter. This one is a light pink, and I just didn't have the heart to pull it out, even though I planted these 3 viburnum right here. I just wanted to see what it would do, and it is so tall. I mean, it is definitely taller than me at this point. It's probably over 6 foot. So it's just super, super beautiful. And the only thing with it is that it is attracting all the bugs, the bad bugs. You can see right here more baby lanternfly. My camera is not really focusing on it, but there's so many baby lanternflies all over it. And those things are so hard to catch. There's a good picture of it. They jump, and when they see you coming, they scoot to the other side. Apparently they have like eyes on the back of their heads, and they just gross me out. And this is also, I don't know if I can find one right now, but it also attracts the Japanese beetles. So I have plucked many of those off, and some of the leaves I can see right here, the damage on that leaf. They've eaten a bunch of other leaves that I've plucked off. So I have to definitely manage the bugs, and those lanternflies are just hard to manage because there's so many of them and they are just really hard to catch. But anyway, it's looking beautiful. I'm happy with my little patches of ageratum here, just adding that nice purple pop of color along here. And we have finally gotten rain. We've been getting so much rain. It rained for maybe a week straight. I don't know, just off and on. We've been getting storms, and so the grass is finally looking a little bit greener, and the plants are all really loving it. I'm so thankful to not have to be watering all of the time. Bring you down into my shady spot, show you what's going on. Everything's looking happy for all the moisture. My Casablanca lilies are beginning to put buds on, so that'll be exciting once they start to bloom. The bunnies are also loving these. You can see the bottoms have been kind of chewed apart. Lots of bunny problems this year. My autumn brilliance ferns and the wee hosta looking a little tip burnt from it gets more sun than the other side, but it's still doing okay. Elegans hosta and the blue halcyon looking good back there. This is my autumn brilliance serviceberry. My wildberry heuchera. This middle one is looking a little smaller than the other two, but hopefully they'll catch up. That'll catch up. I just put these in this year. More autumn brilliance fern and my wee hosta, elegans and the blue halcyon. Just repeating those plants over on this side. My Queen of Hearts Brunera is getting a little bit bigger, and my columbine has finally stopped blooming. My hope, I've said before, is that these Brunera get big enough that they kind of cover up this ratty foliage left over from the columbine that happens usually around this time every year. So hopefully that'll happen. We'll see. Have my tiny little blue mouse ears, hosta. Cute little purple blooms. And I'll take you up through my river of impatience that leads up and over to my sun gardens over here. And I've noticed my pink mink clematis has finally started putting on a lot of growth. It's starting to wrap itself around my obelisk. I wasn't sure if I would need to add some extra string or wire to this for it to begin to climb up, but I don't know, maybe I don't need to. I'll keep an eye on that. And then my impatiens, I just really love looking at these. The colors are so bright in this kind of more shady spot. My Annabelle hydrangeas are finally in full bloom, looking really pretty, and the blooms have been opening up and definitely getting bigger. I was thinking the blooms would be a little smaller because of all the shade that they get, but as time goes on, they're definitely looking bigger, which is making me happy. I really love them against this fence. My Japanese forest grass, all gold, He's definitely putting on some growth. I'm excited to spread that around down here. Have them protected from the bunnies as well. And I had another pink mink back in here that the bunnies ate off. And I can see one little leaf on it right there. So I'm hopeful that that will survive over the winter. And then just my basket that I still intend to put it in a pot, but just haven't gotten around to it. So just got too heavy for the shepherd's hook, but this big leaf begonia is looking really pretty. It's doing really well right here. All right. That is just a quick little tour of my kind of shadier border down here. And I'm going to bring you up over to my sunnier border over here by my patio. I just want to start you right here with this view. I just really love this view with my two Limetta hydrangeas right here and the Annabelles in the background and some of the purple Sumpatiens and the coneflower. I just think it's so pretty, along with the boxwood hedge, and I just love these Limetta hydrangeas. I think they are so pretty and just bloom so prolifically, and I don't know, I just really like them. Hopefully this is a Tonto crepe myrtle. Hopefully that will be putting on some flowers pretty soon here. I guess kind of a bright, almost watermelon color flower. And these are the vigorous orchid Sumpatiens. And they are beginning to definitely put on growth and flowers. They were flowerless for a little bit. My other Limetta hydrangea and this denim and lace Russian sage is, I really enjoy looking at that when I'm sitting over on the patio, and it just really stands out and is so beautiful. The bees are loving my salvia. This is the Mystic Spires Blue Salvia. They are on these things. Oh gosh, it's following me. It flew right into my phone. They are just on those things all day and all night. And I guess it's loving this coneflower too. Happy little guy. I'm getting a little tomato. It's taking its time ripening on my patio tomato. And this purple sage, or I'm sorry, basil is still barely growing. That's why I moved it out of its pot, but it's not doing much better in the ground. I have 3 pickling, like canning cucumbers along the fence. This one is doing the best. I guess it probably gets the most sun. And a little tiny patch of marigolds that are taking their sweet time back there. And I forgot to say the name of this. This is the Summer Song Firefinch coneflower that I put in this year. This garden bed was mostly empty this year, except for the boxwood hedge. My zinnias are definitely slow to take off on this side. It must be the sunlight issue again. This is an anemone Fall in Love Sweetly, proven winners. And I already picked off a couple of jalapenos. We have another one growing. I think I need to add a little more compost because it's looking a little yellowish on the leaves. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and do that soon. And still not seeing too many sunflowers popping up. I think I'm giving up on the sunflowers a little bit. I have some popping up, but I was hoping for like a full hedge. And that's not gonna happen. I did put in some hollyhock seeds that are coming up, and actually I think that might be a sunflower, maybe one of those. So I don't know, we'll see. My sweet peas, this one in the back is doing the best. I tied them and they're beginning to climb up the twine that I added on the obelisk here. Hoping to get some flowers this year. And I have 3 purple hyacinth bean vine plants. One right there. This one is doing the best. Looking really good. And this patch of zinnias, this is the Benary's Giant variety. They are really putting on a lot of growth. Excited for the flowers. Another anemone that is a little bit smaller than the other side, but growing. I have more purple hyacinth bean vine and another jalapeno. This is a sunflower, the only one that's doing well. It's the Pro-Cut Gold Light. And then there is one right next to it that's also trying to grow. I probably need to remove that, remove this wire close from it so it can keep growing. There. More Mystic Spire Salvia. I'm anticipating that is gonna really start taking off now that the heat is coming and we're getting, you know, a lot more rain. More zinnias. This side that gets more sun, so it's looking a little bit better than the other side. And another summer song, Firefinch Coneflower. This is the Melina Fleur Dahlia. I've been super impressed with this plant. From the start, it just really took off quickly. It's not blooming yet, but I'm thinking it will start blooming soon. It's huge. And I really like this combination with the purple salvia and the coneflower and the limetta hydrangea, and then when that dahlia is going to be blooming, it'll look really pretty. I showed you my hydrangeas already. I'll take a walk over to the other side and show you what's going on over here. This side is definitely one of probably my favorite border in the garden, of my gardens. And it definitely shines in the summer. I've said before, I really want to add in some variety, some things that bloom, just to add some better interest all season long. So I'm slowly working on that. My Limelight Prime hydrangea, this is its 2nd year. I love the dark purple stems and how sturdy it is, and it's already, I don't know, maybe 4 feet tall. You can see some tiny little blossoms starting to form in there. This one blooms earlier than most of the panicle hydrangeas. My Royal Sunset Lily is still blooming. It's definitely starting to lose some of its buds. You can see some of the flowers, the petals on the ground. But it's still adding a lot of color to this border. I have a patch of zinnias down here that hopefully will be taken off soon. My berry treasure strawberries. I'm not quite sure on these. The pink flowers were really beautiful in the kind of, I guess, spring, and they've, as you can see, kind of fizzled out, and I have not been getting very many strawberries that are ripening, so I'm not quite sure why, but there are a lot coming. They just they look kind of brown to me, so I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see if they, you know, ripen up nicely. My herb pot, this purple basil is definitely starting to take off. It should get nice and tall and just fill out the top of that pot real nicely. I did have probably a baby bunny, I'm not sure, come and eat my dill to the soil. So I don't know if that'll grow back. And I have a bunch of black-eyed Susans that have still yet to bloom, but in the next couple weeks should be blooming. Tiny little daisy that is trying to put on some blooms. Another jalapeno plant that is also looking like it could use some compost. I'm walking slowly too because we've had a garden friend in here. We've had a snake, a garter snake. He loves my black-eyed Susans, hiding in them. This is the Powwow pink coneflower, and my Royal Hawaiian elephant ear is starting to get bigger finally. Nasturtium, still not blooming, and the seeds that I put in the ground I'm not seeing push through, so I'll have to go through and kind of disperse my nasturtium patches a little more evenly as well. Another daisy. A lot of my plants are still small since I divided them and put them in just like a year or two ago. Cat's pajamas, Nepeta. I could probably cut this back like today, and it would encourage it to flush out new growth a little bit better for the rest of the summer. So I might go ahead and do that. These are the raspberry ripple zinnia that you can see are still struggling in here. I am waiting for them to get a little bigger so I can move those around as well. More coneflower that has not fully bloomed out yet. That was a purple iris, and I have a little patch of lettuce back there. I was hoping the rabbits would go for that, but they haven't touched it. So they just like everything else. More nasturtium right in there. And this is the Mystic Illusion dahlia that looks like I need to come in and maybe do some deadheading. My little lime hydrangea is also starting to put on some buds, which I guess I'm a little surprised that the Limelight Prime isn't further along, because last year it definitely bloomed earlier than this one. You can see we have had a lot of rain and some of it was heavy, so I have not been able to go through and fix the mulch. We had a lot of mulch wash out. You can see it's covering these rocks that I have right here because it kind of just washed it. This whole like edge of the garden border turns into a mini river and just all flows down out the back there. This is Helen von Stein lamb's ear that you can see the rabbits have also loved. It's looking pretty ruddy at this point. Some more Mystic Illusion, Dahlia. Black-eyed Susans, and this coneflower is actually looking pretty big, but it's not in bloom yet. More catmint and raspberry ripple zinnia. Another bee enjoying the catmint. And this elephant ear is not doing quite as well as the other one, but hopefully that'll catch up soon. Powwow pink is starting to put on some flowers. Another jalapeno right in there. Black-eyed Susans. This patch of zinnias is looking much better than the other side. Stargazer lily. Beautiful dahlia. I believe this is the David Howard dahlia. And I did go in and trim back my wee white hydrangeas, except for the one on the end, because that one is still looking good. But these two were looking pretty crispy. So I really want to see if I can get them to push out some new flower buds. And then I have these two back here that I think it was in my last tour I talked about. I thought that all three of these died that I had in from last year, but here, like mid-June, they are just starting to push out of the ground. So that's exciting. I may move those kind of in the empty spaces, like towards kind of the back of these three hydrangeas. And then really enjoying the addition of this Japanese maple and the beautiful just red color it adds right here along our hedge of these are the purple pillar Rose of Sharon in the back, and they should bloom maybe closer to mid-July. They'll bloom, so I'm excited. They always look so beautiful when they're in full bloom. I'll take you back along slowly. All right, that is it for today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.